Ram
Krishna,
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Giridhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Ram Nam Nam Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Shri Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Chaitanya
Hare Hare,
Prabhu
Hare Ram, Hare
Nityananda
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Radha
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
हरे कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
राम
Ram,
हरे
Hare
राम
Ram,
राम राम हरे हरे
Krishna, Krishna,
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण हरे राम
Hare
हरे
Ram,
राम
Hare
राम राम
Ram,
हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे
Krishna,
राम
Ram,
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे हरे
Krishna,
हरे राम राम राम
Krishna
हरे हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे राम राम
Hare
राम हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare
हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Ram
हरे राम
Ram
हरे
Ram Ram
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Ram,
हरे
Ram,
हरे
Ram,
हरे
Ram,
राम 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 हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे राम हरे
Krishna
राम 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
Ram
हरे हरे
Ram
हरे
Ram
राम
Ram
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
राम राम हरे कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे हरे
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
राम हरे
Hare
राम राम
Hare
राम
Ram
हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम
Krishna,
हरे राम राम राम
Hare
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण हरे
Hare
राम हरे
Ram
राम
Ram
राम राम
Ram
हरे
Ram
हरे
Hare Hare
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम
Hare
हरे
Krishna
राम
Krishna
राम
Krishna
राम
Hare Hare
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण हरे
Ram Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे राम हरे राम राम कृष्ण कृष्ण
Krishna
हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
हरे राम
Ram
राम राम
Ram 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 Hare Hare
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna
राम हरे
Hare
राम राम राम
Ram Hare Hare Ram
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण
Ram
राम
Ram
राम
Ram
राम
Ram Hare
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
Hare
हरे हरे
Krishna
राम
Hare
हरे राम
Ram
राम राम
Ram Ram
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna
राम हरे
Hare
राम
Krishna
राम
Krishna
राम
Krishna Hare Hare
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare
राम हरे राम राम
Hare
राम हरे
Krishna
हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
Ram
हरे राम
Ram
राम
Ram
राम
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम राम
Ram
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे 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 राम राम
Ram
हरे कृष्ण
Ram Ram Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Hare
हरे हरे राम राम हरे
Hare Krishna
हरे
Krishna
कृष्ण
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे हरे
Ram
हरे
Ram
राम
Ram
राम
Ram
राम
Hare
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Krishna
राम
Hare
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
Ram
हरे
Ram
हरे
Hare
हरे राम हरे
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram
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 Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Ram
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
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 Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे।
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
I'd
Krishna.
like to welcome Kimesh. Hare Krishna, Kimesh.
Hare Krishna.
You'd like to introduce yourself to the group?
Thank you very much.
You would like to introduce yourself to the group if you want to say anything.
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm very happy to be part of this group and learn about the Gita because I've been since I was just telling Sri Radhika that I had the Gita with me since I was 18 years old, and I always opened it up and read it, but never made sense of it. And I'd always keep it with me, no matter what, in my drawer, in my bag with me. It was always with me. So it's a perfect time for me now, after all the experiences I've had in life, to finally find a group that, or maybe just the right time of my part meeting with you guys, that I'm going to learn about this and want to learn about this, because my life has been full with so much of negative things, and this is only positive thing that has come out of it. It's coming out of it, and I'm seeing a lot of change from the few things that I've already started engaging in with this group.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll be very happy to have you as a part of our group. Also, Kimesh came first time to ISKCON temple on Sunday, right? On ISKCON Columbus temple.
Yes.
And he had a book from the author who was speaking that day. He happened to visit that day, and he had brought his book. So it was not like some divine arrangement that Himesh was guided to the temple by the super soul.
Yeah, and that's like I said, I always keep it with me, and it's so funny. Like stays in my bag because like sometimes I'll go to the park and I'll be waiting for a friend to come or something, and I'm always early. I always end up going somewhere early, and I usually take it out to read or I'll do something on my phone, and it was just so funny. I mean, it's just amazing to me that that was the author of the book that I bought a year ago, and I would have never thought in my life I would have met the author.
Yeah, it was amazing. So it's nice. I need to learn this quality of going early wherever you.
Yeah, and it was a the probability was because I missed the movie on Saturday, I would have not known about Sunday
Mm.
because I wanted to go and watch the movie. Somebody from ISKCON commented on my post and inbox and said, "It's not today. It was yesterday. You missed it, but
Oh.
please come today."
Oh, okay.
Wait.
From the temple inbox, the temple website.
You know, I posted on my page and I tagged ISKCON.
Maybe Juhi commented. Who commented? Juhi commented?
It was Ram, I think.
Huh?
Somebody commented, and it was I phoned it. Sorry, I called to find out more, and then it was Ram I spoke to, and then he texted me back saying, "Come to the temple because we have a speaker." He didn't give me no name or anything. He just said, "Come," and I said I had planned time to do. You know, I freed up my day because I was gonna go watch the movie. So I might as well go to the temple because I've been planning to come so long, like maybe 2 or 3 months, because I've been following the group for 2 or 3 months and I've seen like the kite festival and all of that. And I just couldn't find the means to go. I was like doubting, not doubting, but fighting in my head with go, don't go, go, don't go yet. And finally decided to go on that Sunday. And it just opened up new doors for me.
Mm.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because
Okay.
I've been posting Krishna posts on my Facebook, and I have a big following for that. It's been almost 2 or 3 years that I've been taking all my problems, using some of the knowledge that I think I'm getting out of the Bhagavad Gita, and I put it into my own words as like whatever metaphor there is into my problems, and share it with everyone. And it's got to a point where so many people follow it now. But I want to know the real meaning behind it, because it seems to be deeper than just what I go through.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So in the morning we read every day Bhagavatam. I don't know what your work schedule is, but
From
maybe
7 to 8, I can make it every day.
7 to 8. That's nice. And Thursday also we meet in the temple. We read Bhagavad Gita. Thursday evening.
In the evening.
6:30.
Yeah, I can probably make the evening too. What time is it? 6:30? Yeah, I can make that
6:30 is the
because
Aarti. 7 o'clock we read Bhagavad Gita.
Nice.
yeah,
If you can come by 6:30, that's good.
most probably yes, because I usually would be downtown Columbus and it's not far.
Yeah, only thing is the parking in front is not free, but if you tell me that you're coming, I can add you. We have a parking permit for our temple. So I
Okay,
can
no problem. I
temporarily
will let you know in
add you
advance. In
to
fact, I'll let you know later today.
Yeah.
That's good.
Today is what?
Later today for
Wednesday.
tomorrow. For tomorrow.
For tomorrow, yes. Yeah, so by the end of today, I will say something. I'll
Today
message
evening
somebody.
there is a program also in.
But Kimesh is busy today evening.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right, so we'll read seventh canto.
And if we can start with few verses on controlling mind, Prabhu, Kimesh was interested in. And I pasted to him the
Yeah, we
verse.
are at the right verse actually. I think I was looking at it. It has all the qualities which also there is control of the mind, control of the senses, non-violence. It's the right verse for today.
Okay, thank
you. Krishna's arrangement. Okay, so seventh canto, Science of God. This is Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is a little bit more elaborate than Bhagavad Gita. And this is 11th canto. I mean 7th canto, 11th chapter, the perfect society for 4 social classes. So the 4 social classes are Brahmachari, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So Brahmana means the intellectual class of people. Kshatriya means the administrative class of people, or the warrior class of people who like administer, who control, like who establish law and order. And then Vaishya is those who are like engaged in agriculture and producing food, cow protection, like that. And Shudras are the labor class of people who do many different works like carpentry, plumbing, and all this. So, so society is divided into 4 classes. There's an intellectual class of people. Intellectual class means, you could say, those who know the purpose of life, why we are here. They study scriptures. So they are considered the head of the body. And the head is very important because they guide. I mean, that's the intelligence of the body. So it directs the body in a certain direction.
Right.
So Brahmanas are like that. Kshatriyas are they who act according to the direction of the Brahmanas, and they rule. They make sure there is law and order, like we can say the police force. The Vaishyas are those who are farmers, who are engaged in agriculture, cow protection. And the Shudras, they support all the other classes by providing their services. So in this way, there's 4 divisions that's described. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, who is one of the Pandavas, he's conversing with Narad Muni. And he wants to know more about this Varnashram. So Narad Muni has started explaining, and we are just in the beginning verses. So now he's going to talk about all the qualities that one should imbibe for God. These are considered godly qualities. Yeah. So if anybody has any comments or queries or anything like that, we can stop anytime. So it's very interactive. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so Satyam Daya Tapa Shaucham. This is Sanskrit. Satyam Daya Tapa Shaucham Titiksheksha Shamodamaha Ahimsa Brahmacharyam Cha Tyagaha Swadhyaya Arjavam Santosha Samadrik Seva Gramye Ho Paramaha Shanai Nirnam Viparyaya Heksha Maunam Atma Vimarshanam Annadyade Samvibhago Bhutebhyasya Yatha Teshvatma Devata Buddhi Sutaram Rishu Pandava Shravanam Kirtanam Chasya Smaranam Mahatam Gatehe Svejya Avanatir Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Samarpanam Nirnam Ayam Paro Dharma Sarvesham Samudarita Trimshal Navan Rajan Sarvatma Yena Tushyati. Some words we can understand. Satyam, Daya. Satyam is truthfulness. Daya is mercy. Tapa is austerity. Saucham is cleanliness. Titiksheksha means tolerance. Looks like Shama. Shama means equipoised in happiness and distress. Dhamma, that's the control of the mind. Ahimsa, non-violence. Brahmacharyam, celibacy. Tyaga is renunciation. Swadhyaya is the practice. Arjavam is honesty or simplicity. Santosha means satisfaction. Samadrik seva. Samadrik, drik means to see. Samadrik means to see equally. So we'll go to the words afterwards. I'm just trying to figure out. Gramyeho paramaha shanai. Okay, that we don't know Gramyo. So let's see what Prabhupada says in the translation.
Common.
Just a quick question. Which book is this I could buy?
Yeah, we can give you a Bhagavatam set.
Okay.
It's a whole 18 volumes books.
Okay.
It has
Okay, thank you. I definitely want to read it also.
Huh?
No, I definitely would like to go through it also after we have lessons, like, to double,
Yeah.
to iterate it to myself again.
Yes. Gramya Ihya Uparamaha, not taking part in so-called philanthropic activities. Shanai means gradually. Nirnam, in human society. Viparyaya Ihya, the unnecessary activities. Iksha, discussing. Maunam, being grave and silent. Atma, into the self. Vimarshanam, research. Anna Adya Ade, of food and drink, etc. San Vibhagaha, equal distribution. Bhutebhya, to different living entities. Cha, also. Yatha Arhata, as befitting. Teshu, all living entities. Atma Devata Buddhi, accepting as the self for demigods. Sutaram, preliminary. Nrishu, among all human beings. Pandava, O Maharaj Yudhishthir. Shravanam, hearing. Kirtanam, chanting. Cha, also. Asya, of him. Smaranam, remembering his words and activities. Mahatam, of great saintly persons. Gate, who is the shelter. Seva is service. Ijya is worship. Avaniti is offering obeisances. Dasyam, accepting the service. Sakhyam, to consider a friend as a friend. Atma Samarpanam, surrendering one's whole self. Nrinam, of all human beings. I am this, Para, the supermost. Dharma, religious principles. Sarvesham, of all. Samudarita, described fully. Trimsat Lakshana Van, possessing 30 characteristics. Rajan, O king. Sarva Atma, the supreme lord, the super soul of all. Yena, by which Tushyati is satisfied. Okay, so the translation. These are the general principles to be followed by all human beings. Truthfulness, mercy, austerity, observing fast on certain days of the month, bathing twice a day, tolerance, discrimination between right and wrong, control of the mind, control of the senses, non-violence, celibacy, charity, reading of scriptures, simplicity, satisfaction, rendering service to saintly persons, gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagements, observing the futility of unnecessary activities of human society, remaining silent and grave and avoiding unnecessary talk, considering whether one is the body or the soul, distributing food equally to all living entities, both man and animals, seeing every soul, especially in the human form, as part of the Supreme Lord, hearing about the activities and instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of the saintly persons, chanting about these activities and instructions, always remembering these activities and instructions, trying to render service, performing worship, offering obeisances, becoming a servant, becoming a friend, and surrendering one's whole self. O King Yudhishthir, these 30 qualifications must be acquired in the human form of life. Simply by acquiring these qualifications, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will look at each individual quality and see, we can discuss, but we'll read the purport first. In order that human beings be distinct from animals, the great Saint Narada recommends that every human being be educated in terms of the above-mentioned 30 qualifications. So these are the qualities that distinguish us from the animals. Nowadays, there is propaganda everywhere, all over the world, for a secular state, a state interested only in mundane activities. But if the citizens of the state are not educated in the above-mentioned good qualities, how can there be happiness? For example, if the total populace is untruthful, how can the state be happy? Therefore, without consideration of one's belonging to a sectarian religion, whether Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, or any other sect, everyone should be taught to become truthful. Similarly, everyone should be taught to be merciful, and everyone should observe fasting on certain days of the month. Everyone should bathe twice a day, cleanse his teeth and body externally, and cleanse his mind internally by remembering the holy name of the Lord. The Lord is one, whether one is Hindu, Muslim, or Christian. Therefore, one should chant the holy name of the Lord regardless of differences in linguistic pronunciation. Also, everyone should be taught to be very careful not to discharge semen unnecessarily. This is very important for all human beings. If semen is not discharged unnecessarily, one becomes extremely strong in memory, determination, activity, and the vitality of one's bodily energy. Everyone should also be taught to be simple in thought and feeling and satisfied in body and mind. These are the general qualifications of a human being. There is no question of a secular state or an ecclesiastical state. Unless one is educated in the above mentioned 30 qualities, there cannot be any peace. Ultimately, it is recommended. Shravanam kirtanam chasya smaranam mahatam gate sevijya vannatir dasyam sakhyam atma samarpanam. Everyone should become a devotee of the Lord because by becoming a devotee of the Lord, one automatically acquires the other qualities. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagvatya kinchana sarve gunaistatra samasate suraha harav bhaktasya kuto mahadguna guna manorathena sati dhavato bahi. In one who has unflinching devotional service to Krishna, all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods are consistently manifest. However, he who has no devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no good qualifications because he is engaged by mental concoction in material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. Our Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, is all embracing. Human civilization should take it very seriously and practice its principle for the peace of the world. So,
Yeah, my Masi was kind of explaining something to me yesterday about some Mayavadis or something like that.
who was explaining?
My Masi, she's a Paramahansa Yogananda devotee.
Okay.
So, but she was explaining to me that, sometimes even with the Krishna movement, there is something called Mayavadis or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And they are materialistic and must be careful of them.
Yeah, Vad means doctrine or philosophy, and Maya means illusion. So Mayavadis are those who say that everything is illusion. Ultimately, Brahman is the reality. So,
Right.
yeah. Which we also say kind of everything is illusion. If we see it disconnected from the Lord, everything is illusion. If we see the energy and the energetic without any connection, if we disconnect them, then it is an illusion. There is a verse in the Bhagavatam which says, so
Yes.
illusion means to see things as they are not.
Exactly. Of course, if it's an untrained imagination.
Yeah, like magic show. They say
Mhm.
it's like an optical illusion, right? It's not really.
Right. It's not
So
magic.
it's not really happening. Otherwise, the girl is cut into half, then he'll be in jail.
Yeah.
Magician will be in the jail. But yeah, so yeah, I think somebody wanted to say something. I heard some sound.
No, I was just quoting the verse that
Oh,
you
okay.
mentioned, Bhagavatam, Brahma. Krishna is telling Brahma, anything that is not connected to Krishna is Maya, because it takes us away from Krishna. If we see things as Krishna's property and Krishna being the enjoyer, then that will take us towards Krishna.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, it's like it all starts with this thinking what I am. We are all suffering from an identity crisis, they say. We are identifying with this body as who I am, body and this mind as who I am. But I am not this body and I'm not this mind. So this is everything starts from there. Because I am spirit soul and I am living in the body. But it's just like if I'm driving a car to say that the car is me. No, you are the driver. The driver and the car are different, two different The car is moving because the driver is there, right? But to say the driver is the car, then it's not correct. So
Yes, the body is just a vessel through this life.
yes, it's just
Right.
like Krishna gives the analogy that it's like a dress that we wear, and somebody has, animal dress, somebody has a bird dress, somebody has a human dress. Everybody's driving a different car based on how much money they have. Yeah. So what karma you have, you are like inhabiting different kinds of bodies. So somebody has a certain kind of body like that. So karma can change, just like our fortunes can turn. And we can be rich, then we can become poor, then we can become rich, then we can become poor, like that. So in one lifetime we get one body, then we may do bad karma, and then we may get next life we can get a lower body. So this is the biggest illusion, to think that I am this body and everything connected to the body is mine. So this is kind of what the Shastra describes as the. So to get out of this illusion, we have to come to reality. And we come to reality when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we read Bhagavatam. Then we at least understand the reality. First of all, we know what is reality. And then we try to live our life in reality. That's the next. Prabhupada said the highest thing is the philosophy. But then to put the philosophy in practice is even higher. Okay, so we will look at some of the things that are discussed here and see if. So, truthfulness. So, truthfulness means speaking the truth and speaking about the absolute truth, what Krishna is saying. So, many times we think we know the truth, but we really don't know the truth because we are in illusion. Illusion and truth are two different things. Illusion means something that is not true. But because we have false ego, we think, I know it all, and then we speak that whatever our illusory idea is, we speak that and make others believe. And in this way, we cheat others. So this is one of the characteristic of the conditioned soul, is that he has a tendency to cheat, although he doesn't know the truth. But then he is speaking that this is the truth. Life has come from a combination of chemicals. Prabhupada would often talk about this. That although they cannot produce life from chemicals, starting with chemicals, but they profess a theory, they make up a theory like this, and they propagate this theory. So truthfulness means to speak according to the scripture. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse which says, what is the austerity of speech? Austerity of speech means to speak words that are truthful. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tadochyate. Yes, satyam. Satyam means to speak the truth. And truth should be spoken in such a way that it is beneficial for others. Of course, sometimes even if we know the truth, we don't have to tell the truth if it is not beneficial for others, in the sense that we don't have to tell everything. We can, according to yesterday, also we were hearing in the class in the evening, we have to preach according to the audience. Like I may be PhD, but if I'm dealing with kindergarten students, I cannot speak the highest thing because the students are not able to. So I have to speak at their level, the truth that they can understand.
Right.
So yeah, so truthfulness. The Prabhupada gives one example that I think there was Gautam Muni, and he so he would accept disciples, but he would accept only disciples who are born in a Brahmin family. So then one person came and he asked Gautam Muni. Gautam Muni asked him. So one person came, one small student, he came. Small means in age, young student came. And he said, Gautam Muni asked him, so who is your father? And he said, he didn't know who is your father. So then Gautam Muni said, go and ask your mother, who is your father? So the mother So the boy went to his mother and said, "Can you tell me who my father is?" And mother said, "Actually, I don't know who your father is because I had many relationships. So I don't know by whom you were born." So he came back to Gautam Muni and he said, "My mother said that she had many relationships. So she cannot say who is exactly my father." So then Gautam Muni said, "Yes, you are Brahmin because you are speaking truth." And then he accepted. Okay. Even though generally people will try to hide this, but he's saying, "No, you are speaking the truth. So I will accept you." Prabhupada, I think in one lecture he was saying this. So truthfulness. So we have to be honest. If you go to the doctor and we don't tell what our ailment is, if you're not truthful, then how can he cure us? Right?
Right.
Because we have to be open. We may not tell the truth to everybody, but yeah, whatever our condition is. But if you really want to get cured, then we have to tell what our problem is. And if we approach, so Guru has to be approached in that way, where we
Yeah,
tell. Go ahead. Yes.
I feel like this is exactly where I'm at in life, is that I'm no longer harboring everything on the inside, because I'm taking every opportunity to tell everybody who's interested, not even interested, but I'm speaking to, that the only way I'm becoming much more free within myself and my soul is that I'm speaking that truth, is I'm not hiding from it. I'm not like
Shying away.
behind the wall, that I created. That wall is not, I'm trying to not trying to break it down, but breaking it down, because there's nothing more fearless than being afraid yourself from hiding from people rather than facing people. So I choose to face instead of hide.
Yeah,
But
and
that's what
so
I ultimately want.
yes. So generally, yeah, those who are interested in us and those who can help us. Guru means one who knows you, one who loves you, and one who can help you. So we generally, of course, many people are not interested in knowing about us. But if there are some people who wants to know more about us, they have interest in helping us, and they really love us,
Yeah.
then
And they're
then
capable of helping us in the sense
yeah.
they have read the scriptures and they can guide you spiritually in the
Mhm.
right way, because there are many sorts of people and they can give you so many different advices. We shouldn't hear from everyone.
That's true. I mean, just listening just to Sri Radhika from a few moments of talking to her about certain things that I've mentioned to her, it's, yeah, and she mentioned you in everything, and how is the knowledge to you passed on to her, and the little she said to me is exactly true, which is why I'm joining, because he's sitting here right now, is because I understand you have understood these deeper meanings, which is what I'm seeking. I'm not looking for anything that's now borderline just the surface, because that I've learned in my life through that surface level of philosophy, but I know it goes deeper.
Yeah.
But I don't know how deep, and I want to learn and become more at peace because of that knowledge.
Yeah. So yeah, truthfulness also means to know the absolute truth. Because there is relative truth, right? About everybody has their version of truth in this world. But to know the is absolute truth means that truth that does not depend on your opinion, my opinion, but it stands on its own. So that is
Mhm.
Krishna. Krishna is the absolute truth. So knowing about the absolute truth and connecting with him, that's the okay. So mercy. So mercy is very important. Um, Mercy or compassion. So Prabhupada himself, right? Actually, dharma stands on four legs. They say dharma is standing on four legs: mercy, truthfulness, austerity, and cleanliness. So mercy means showing compassion, feeling for the suffering of others. Like Narsi Mehta says, Vaishnav janto tene kahiye pir parai jane. Means to feel the suffering of others, who feels unhappy to see the suffering of others. Yesterday we were talking about selfishness and selflessness in the class. So selfishness means it's all about my happiness. I don't care about anybody else. It's all about my happiness. and what's in it for me, right? That's generally everybody's self-centered in this world.
Yeah.
But mercy means to how I can, of course, I have to be happy first, right? If I'm suffering, then I have to first of all myself, I have to get cured. Then before I show compassion also, and compassion means to feel for the suffering of others and see how their suffering can be relieved. And the reason for everybody's suffering in this world is we have all disconnected from Krishna. We are all in this material world and we have disconnected from God in our consciousness. And that's the main cause of our suffering in this world.
Right.
Like one story is told in this regard by Srila Prabhupada. There was a rich man and his son, he had some disagreement with his father. So he left his home. And then he was like moving about in the street, loitering in the street. And he was like a vagabond. He didn't have any. And so one person came and said, "Oh, you are very hungry. You don't have any money. Let me give you some food because you are very hungry. You have not eaten for many days. Yeah, let me give you some food." So he helped that boy. Then another person came and said, so he moved on in his journey. And then another person came and said, "Oh, you have not such clean clothes. You don't have enough clothes. It's getting cold and you don't have a sweater. And let me give you some clothes so you can keep yourself warm." Now that's also an act of compassion, right? And then the third person came along and said, uh, "Why did you leave your father? Your father is so kind. You unnecessarily you left him and you are now loitering in the street like this. Let me somehow take you back to your father. Let me take you back to your father. Let's reconcile. Let's reconcile." So he took that boy back to his father, and the boy reconciled and again agreed to be under the loving care of his father. Now, others also helped this boy, but the best help was given by the third person because he connected him to his father. Then all his clothing problem was solved, his food problem was solved. So similarly, Krishna is our father, and if we connect with him, then Krishna will solve all our problems. Krishna will provide. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, "Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamiham." To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, then I will provide what they lack and I will preserve what they have. So Krishna will take care of us if we connect with him. That's why Prabhupada says in the purport, if you become a devotee of the Lord, then automatically all the good qualities will come about. Our heart will, all the bad qualities are because of an unclean heart. But if you become a devotee of the Lord, then all the good qualities will manifest. So mercy. So Krishna is very merciful, and the devotee is also very merciful. Krishna comes time and again to this world to save all, to reclaim us. We are all his children. We are suffering in the cycle of birth and death, and all the different, and between birth and death, there are so many kinds of problems we have to struggle with. So everybody is struggling in this material world. And so Krishna comes and or sends his representatives to show compassion. So we should also, devotee also, when he has received the mercy, he also wants to share the mercy of the Lord with others, right? He has become, he has felt the benefits of Krishna consciousness. So he wants to share. That's why all these devotees are writing books and all these things. They are coming and preaching, and because they have felt the shelter and the freedom from anxiety and the peace they have felt taking shelter of Krishna. So in the
Yeah,
same way, yeah,
sorry. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's nothing cutting off.
2 years ago, I don't know if you know, there's like a safari theme park somewhere nearby here in Ohio, right? That you can go and see animals. It's like giraffes and whatever. So 2 years ago, driving a with somebody our significant other I was with at the time. It was about 2 or 3 years ago, and at that time I was planning on giving them meat, and I had. But the most funniest thing happened was we were driving through the zoo, and you know the white cow that's always in the pictures with Krishna? There was one there in a zoo. It was walking around, and it was going in one direction, and it saw the car where we were coming up this way, and it looked to the car, and it turned around and started walking towards the car. And it walked right towards my side of the window. I opened up the window and it looked inside of me, and the cow is really big. I never realized how big those white cows are with the hump. And she got scared, like she was like, close the window. And I said, no, I said, this is something, I think this cow is trying to tell me something. So I left the window open, and then it put its head inside the car, and then it licked my left hand, which is my hand that I use a lot. And it looked at me for a while, and I was just like staring at it for a while. I didn't know what to think, what to do, I had no idea what I had to do. Like, I felt like I had to do something. I closed it, it walked off. And I just sat there for a while, quiet. Like I didn't know what I was looking at her, and I looked at her and I said, what just happened there? Like I couldn't understand it. 2 weeks later, that farm burned down, and most of the animals died there. It was so crazy. I said that I don't know if the cow was trying to tell me something about that happening, or like you said, it was, just Krishna speaking in another form about something. But if I had been on a higher plane of understanding, maybe I would have felt something more. Because I was just telling Sri Radhika that I think I'm having coincidences way too often. And that cow is connected very closely to Krishna. Every single picture I've seen, there's a white cow and a peacock. And that very same cow came to the car, and it was at the zoo here in Ohio. They had it at it's a drive-through zoo, like. And it's still today, so I'm still shocked, and I try to wonder what all these little signs are, and I want to get closer to it because there's a message somewhere, and it's almost like I cannot ignore it anymore.
Yeah, there are many videos I've watched also, some videos I've watched where the animals are appealing to the human beings for some difficulty they are in. The young one is in some difficulty, and I'm not saying about this particular instance, but many times they also they're appealing to human beings. Sometimes they know that they are going to be slaughtered, so they try to run away. There are instances where the animals, they try to run away. So many cows are being slaughtered in America and everywhere, all over the world.
Right, right.
All
Oh,
other
yeah.
animals, all other animals are, and somehow some cows have intuition that they are going to. So there was one instance where I read about that the cow tried to escape from a truck that was in which they were being transported, and they were all going to be slaughtered. So it tried to escape. It tried to escape. So
It knew
animals have
something.
also feelings. Animals have also feelings, and yeah, they're also souls like us. And
Much so. I tend to see it a lot in their eyes without anything still in
yeah.
the eyes.
That's why mercy means to also help others, right? To help others, to save others from their suffering. And so cow protection is one of the main programs of ISKCON, right? They are doing so many places, there are cows. And in our temple also, we are going to have Goshala. So to save all these animals from being slaughtered, because we would not want to do to others what we would not like others to do unto us. They say, do
Right.
unto others what you would have others do unto you. So if I don't like my throat to be slit, how can I cut the throat of a chicken or any other animal like that? How much pain they are going through. So mercy also comes with empathizing. When you empathize with another person's, suffering, that what they are going through, then you can be like, you can do something. You feel your heart is. Krishna is also, it is described, anukampa. Kampa means trembling. So Krishna trembles, his heart is moved to see that all his children are suffering in this material world. That's why he personally comes. So one whose heart is like Prabhupada also one time in Mayapur, he saw there were dogs. Like what happened was devotees had eaten prasadam on banana leaf plates, and then they had thrown it somewhere in the trash. In
Mhm.
Mayapur there's place, and then so there was some leftovers, some leftovers here and there on the plates, and so many. It
Right.
was a heap of plates. So the dogs were trying to get the something that was left on the plates, and on the other side there were beggar children who also were trying to get something from the plates because they were very hungry. And Prabhupada looked at it and he had tears in his eyes. He had tears in his eyes, looking at the suffering of the. Of course, dogs, yeah, they eat everything, but he was so feeling that how these human children are suffering for want of, food. So then he made a statement that nobody should go hungry in a certain mile radius of the temple. So everybody
It's
should get prasadam like that. So it was
it,
his mercy. Yeah.
it was so true because there's a story 15 or 16 years ago, my mom took us to India to go see a lot of India that we never saw, Gujarat and everything.
Hmm.
I was living in South Africa at the time. But one of the places we went to was Mathura, and it was right by the Ghat there and where the jail was,
You went to
where
which
Krishna
ghat?
was
You went to a
born.
ghat? What did you say?
Yeah, it was where Krishna was born. So that there was a Ghat there, and then you walk a little bit up, and the jail was there.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I walked with my family up towards the jail, and they all walked in. And when I walked in, the security guard was touching me, and I don't like people touching me.
Hmm.
So he was searching for any weapons. So I pushed his hands away, and he kicked me out. He said, "You're not entering the building." And everyone got upset with me, and they said, "You must go back to the van
Hmm.
and wait." And I said, "Why must I wait? I want to see this. I have to see this. I'm here. I'm not going to come back again in a long time." I went back to the car. I was sitting by myself, and like 8 or 9 kids came to stand by the door because the door was open, and I was sitting inside with my hands folded. And I had a whole bunch of food and all of that inside. So I took it, I opened up the packet and I started giving it to them. I went outside of the van, and I was walking. They were pulling my hands, and they were taking me to show me, and they took me around the back of the building.
Hmm.
And I was standing from the back there because there was a street. There was a guy sitting in a small, like selling, the pan things, and he hangs it like that.
Hmm.
And and he was sitting inside, and he gave me a smile, and I smiled at him, and it was like it felt I can't explain that feeling. But when I went around, I saw the tall building, and I saw a stone slab, and I could see it from the back, and it was like a table. So then I turned around, and these kids were just playing and running around, and they were laughing, and I took photos and all of that of them. And the garden was empty. There was no water in there. It was dry. It was completely dry. So I decided to turn around and walk back because I told myself, instead of being angry, for some reason with those kids, I felt a little bit of peace. And I walked around myself. My mom and them were all still inside. And I went back to the front, and I apologized to the security guard. And I said, "Please let me go in." And then he let me go in. I allowed him to touch me and search because I understand that it's a very sacred place. So they want to make sure. But after going in and seeing that place from the back and the front, and then the cell down, it was somewhere downstairs on the side. I couldn't believe what happened. Like, like my life even it changed even more. And it was like you said, it was like sharing, and giving. And it's part of that mercy, which was something I experienced there too. But it was with the kids. And right at Krishna's birthplace, when he was born, and they took him to that place where Shiva was, but he wasn't in the true form of Shiva,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. So austerity, we'll move on. Austerity means tapasya. Tapasya, I think is translated austerity. Austerity, observing fast on certain days of the month. So generally, austerity means Prabhupada says like that, austerity means to accept voluntarily things which are not very comfortable, but for the body, but are conducive for spiritual realization. So, for instance, chanting the holy name. In the beginning, it may not be very, palatable. We may not like it, but because
No, this morning I wanted to. Yeah, I was going to join, but I'm feeling nervous about it. But I will soon.
Yeah. So, like rising early in the morning, that's also one of the austerities that is recommended, because morning time is very conducive for spiritual absorption. So, getting up early in the morning, then chanting the holy name may not be very interesting, but it is an austerity. Our mind may revolt. Our mind may say, no, 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 I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But because we know it's good for my spiritual health, so I do it. Like I give the example, sometimes we drink kada. Kada may be very bitter, but because it detoxes our body, it is good for our body. Even though the medicine is bitter, Ayurvedic medicines are generally maybe bitter, but it will help my body, it will clean my body. So similarly, this chanting of the holy name, even though it may not be very palatable and nice, and my mind may not like it, but I do it because it will clean my consciousness. So like that, these are some austerities that, and then Prabhupada says, yeah, here observing this. So there are 2 days in the month where we observe fasting. And it's like not complete fast. If one cannot do it, then it is called Ekadashi. So Ekadashi is when you observe fast. So you reduce your food intake, reducing one's food intake, reducing the desires for enjoyment, sense enjoyment, so that we can focus on spirituality, we can focus on spiritual activities. So all these things are important. So there is different kinds of austerities. There is austerity of body, there is austerity of the mind, there is austerity of speech. We already discussed the austerity of speech. It means to speak words which are truthful, which are pleasing, which are beneficial. Satyam priyam hitam chayat, and swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva. Swadhyaya means study of the scriptures, and swadhyaya is study of
And
the
anudvega means not agitating.
not agitating to others. So we have to speak in a way that is pleasing to the others. According to their level, we have to speak, and then so that they can accept and not, and also beneficial for them. But at the same time, it has to be truthful. And then practice of studying the scriptures regularly. These are the austerities of the
Speech.
of the speech. So like that, there is austerity of
Body.
Austerity of body. So Krishna will describe all these things in the I think it's in the
Because the 17th
17th
chapter,
chapter.
14th verse is the austerity.
Yeah. So austerity of body means, not using the body for other things like sense gratification more than it is required, right? I mean, and in a proper way. Otherwise, we use our body offering respects with our body. So as soon as we come to Krishna, we bow down. We may not like feeling like bow down.
Mhm.
We should bow down. Of course, sometimes we have health issues, we have knee problems, and that's all right. We cannot bow down. That's okay. But at least we can fold our hands, bow our head. Then keeping the body clean. That is also described here. Taking bath twice a day. That's okay if we can't take bath, but at least once a day we should take bath. And then, cleanliness like that. So that is austerity. Austerity means going against our natural um, inclination, which if it is not favorable for cultivating spiritual life, like meat eating. I may be inclined to eat meat, but it is not good for my spiritual practice. So although my tongue is like craving for certain things which are not good, then I will say no, I will not eat meat. I will eat only prasad. I will only eat food that is offered to Krishna. So that may be
Yeah,
a little bit
I stopped eating meat months ago.
Mhm.
you left eating meat. What do you say?
Yeah, it's really changed my life, honestly. Like in many ways. I mean, I've lost weight too in a good way.
Mhm.
And the only way I've replaced protein is with powder and beans.
Mm.
Yeah, like Prabhupada says, if you are a smoker,
I don't
and
smoke.
no, I'm not saying you. I'm
Oh,
just saying
okay.
that somebody is a smoker and somebody says, no, no, don't smoke. Then you may feel like, okay, it is a little difficult in the beginning. Yeah, but for a higher principle, you
Mm.
Yeah,
accept it.
because I mean, I had a Janoi when I was a kid, and my whole family don't eat meat. I was the only one because I moved to London, and then I moved to America, so I started eating meat at a very older age. So it was easy to give up.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
And same with taking intoxicants, right? Drinking or
drinking.
That
drug.
was my worst problem. Yes, was the alcohol.
Yeah, so these things are not favorable for gambling, intoxication, meat eating, illicit relationships. These are not favorable for spiritual advancement. So we follow, I mean, Prabhupada would say that if you want to make advancement, you have to follow the four principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit relationships. So this is kind of so that will also come celibacy and all these things will come. So what's the time? It's 8 o'clock.
It's I can stay up until 9 because my first meeting is at 9.
Mhm.
You can continue, Prabhu.
I can continue because I had already prepared last night for my meeting. I mean, yesterday before I went to bed.
Yeah. So anybody else like want to say anything? I mean, they want to. I can continue if everybody's okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I do have a question.
Go ahead.
You just mentioned that doing austerities and like doing soulful activities. Let's say if I'm chanting every day, I'm having prasadam. How do I actually know that I'm progressing? Let's say if I'm exercising, I can see my body is changing, so I know I'm progressing in it. How do I actually know I'm progressing in my spiritual life as well?
So there are many ways to know. One is like that your attachment to spiritual activities is growing, right? You feel like it's giving you some taste, and your uh, detachment from activities that are not favorable um, is increasing. So this is the main way to know. So you, even though you may not be completely detached, but you don't like it. Even like it is like a fan. You have stopped the fan, like you plugged it out, but it's still rotating, but it's slowing down. And every time you do some activity which is not conducive for bhakti, you feel bad about it. You feel bad about it. That's also another way to measure your progress, and you repent it. Earlier, you were doing some wrong activities, some which is not conducive for bhakti, but still you were not feeling anything. But now, since you started practicing and you understood the purpose of life, who you are, what is the goal of life, you may not be able to immediately like stop all the bad things, but still you feel like, yeah, this is not good for me, and you want to get out of it. So that means you have made progress. Yeah, that means you are now in a different conscious. So progress means it's change of consciousness ultimately. Your consciousness is changing, your value system is changing, right? What you consider more important in your life is changing. So that's when you are more coming to the spiritual platform. Your attachment to Krishna and service to Krishna is increasing. So that is how you can say that you're
Yeah,
making.
like they give the example of eating a nice meal. When
Hmm.
you have eaten a nice meal, you feel pleasure and you feel nourished, and then you're full that you don't desire to eat anymore. The same thing when we do bhakti, we feel satisfied and pleasure, and also detachment
Hmm.
happens that I'm good. I don't need so many things. I'm happy in my relationship with Krishna, in the services that I'm doing. So only you can tell how much you're progressing. Detachment is a big factor. You're not hankering for things of this world, and you're
Detachment from material desires.
material things. Yes, you become Atmaram, fully
Which are not
satisfied.
favorable. If desires, of course, we cannot be completely free from all desires, but
Correct.
there are certain desires that are not favorable for bhakti.
I mean,
So,
general material hankering for things of this
and
world.
it may not happen immediately, like,
Mhm.
but you can also dovetail your desires. They say if you have certain desires, then you can connect it with Krishna. And so now, let's say I want to do business, I have a desire to do business. But then, now I'm Krishna conscious. So I will say, okay, let me do business for Krishna. Let me do business. You may not be able to give up your desire to do business, but now you connect Krishna in everything. So you are saying, okay, now I'm working, but let me work for Krishna. Let me.
Or your desire to increase in your spiritual practices. Like, I want to spend more time chanting.
Mhm.
I want to spend more time serving in the temple or the devotees. You
You
know, the
like to hear more
priority.
about Krishna. You
The
like to hear.
priority in your life changes. So I want to give my first priority in my life to Krishna. So I want to get up early in the morning and chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavatam. That is the
Yeah,
first thing. So your priorities change in your life.
yeah.
Got
That's the
it.
value, your value system changes basically. Your value system means what you consider important, your priority in life.
Mhm.
That's the thing changes. So, but it may not happen overnight, right? So we should not become discouraged also. It's like, okay, we have been conditioned for a long time. So it's not like in one day things are going to
Mhm.
turn around and things like that. But we have to, if we hear this knowledge every day, then slowly and gradually your thing will increase. So it may take years also. It may take years. It may take like, yeah, to be completely like. So there are levels of, conviction, levels of taste in bhakti. So,
Got it.
so
Thank you, Papaji.
yeah, one should
Yeah,
not become discouraged.
like for me, that certain things have gone wrong, specifically in my relationship area, and I found myself very easily becoming celibate and not even interested in finding a relationship, even though I do spend a lot of time with certain females. But I have drawn such a line with it that I can confidently not make any progress with that for intimacy or anything, and I'm very happy with that because I've prioritized myself and to hope find or even hold me through Krishna, because I used to have to want to have a girlfriend all the time, and it just doesn't cross my mind anymore.
Hmm.
And I found that easier to do than to get, so like you said, some of the other things. So I wonder if it's also based on certain bad experiences that can lead you closer to some of those controlling of the senses and not, celibacy, charity, all of that faster, like, because I would have expected myself probably celibacy would be the last thing, and it seems to be almost the first thing.
Hmm. Yeah, sometimes bad experiences can give you.
Because it's a lack of trust, and I think that's my reason. And it's not, I don't know, I have gone through it for so long now that I don't even think about it.
Hmm.
And the more I look at it, is I'm looking inside.
Yeah. Okay, so that is austerity. Bathing
There is
twice.
austerity of mind also.
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the austerity of mind means
You want to
being
paste the words?
satisfied. You can pull it up. Bhagavad Gita 17:16.
Okay. 17:16. Yeah, we missed out. Mana prasada saumyatvam maunamatma vinigraha bhava sanshuddhiriti etat tapo manasamuchyate. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind. Yeah, you can be satisfied when you have higher things in life. Then you're not hankering. You're satisfied. Like 3 things we should feel, right, when we leave the body. He was saying yesterday, we should feel satisfied. We should feel regret.
We should feel gratitude.
We should feel gratitude.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, satisfaction you will feel. It's like again the same example of eating a nice meal, then you feel satisfied, nourished. So Krishna consciousness nourishes you. So then you will feel satisfied. That is austerity of the mind. And also we have to practice austerity because mind is always dissatisfied. I want more, I want more.
Oh, the grass is green on the other side. I don't have that and I don't have this when we compare ourselves with others.
Yeah, and I think I'm coming to a point in my life where I want less, and the most important things I want in my life are very simple things that as like spirituality is one of the biggest things I want right now. Not want, but I have to work very hard towards reaching it. Not want, because if I want it, it's I'm gonna chase it. I have to develop it.
Yeah, so mind, because it's always a moving target, and like mind is always wanting, when you get something, you want something else. So it's always like, but with Krishna, the mind can be satisfied, controlled, because you feel also a higher taste. And yeah, and sometimes, yeah, those desires may come up, mind may push us to do some things. But if we are strong enough, then we can say no, no to the mind. And that strength comes from what?
From chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, reading scriptures, having conviction. So
Yeah,
Krishna
correct.
gives.
Chanting Hare Krishna, reading scriptures, associating with devotees, like that, then the strength will come. So it's not so easy to say no to our mind because mind is like very powerful. But yeah, if we engage the mind with Krishna, Krishna is more powerful. Then that's why it says mantra. Mantra means which delivers the mind. Mind can be our best friend, it can be our worst enemy, Krishna says. So we have to control the mind by intelligence. Intelligence will control the mind. If you have sharp intelligence, then you can, of course, sometimes we know also, but the mind just takes over, right? The mind overpowers the intelligence. Sometimes we know what is right, what is wrong, what I should do, what I should not do. And how do we know that? From scriptures, whatever Krishna says in the 16th chapter. What you should do, what you should not do, should be determined by scriptures. What is that verse? Karyam karma, no. No. The one that what you should do, what you should not do.
तस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते कार्य कार्य व्यवस्थितो ज्ञात्वा शास्त्र विधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुम् अर्हसि.
You want to read the translation?
Yeah, one should understand what should be done and what should not be done by the basis of the scriptures. Knowing the rules and regulations, and in that way we can be elevated. Otherwise, it's all mental concoction. If doing things whimsically, and if we do things whimsically, we will not get happiness in this world or the next.
That's the other verse. Krishna
यः
is.
शास्त्र विधिमुत्सर्ज्य वर्तते कामकारता न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
Yeah, so first discrimination. We say there are 3 Ds. Discrimination, on what is to be done, what is not to be done. How do we know that? Discrimination based on Shastra, based on Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. We know. Then second thing is determination. After you know, after you've discriminated, okay, this is not to be done and this is to be done, then to do the right thing and to avoid doing the wrong thing, you need determination. And that determination comes from like with intelligence, right? When, like, I know smoking is bad for health, I will never smoke, right? Because of course, I cannot say like that, but so far I have not smoked, but I know it's bad. So I have that intelligence. So similarly, when you have intelligence, then you say, no, I will not do it. When we are not convinced completely that this is bad for me, then we will say, no, it's okay. Once in a while, if I smoke, it's okay. It's not bad, right? So that's what happens. So when our intelligence is not strong, and of course, that's at one level. Then the second is that you get taste. When you're getting taste in a superior thing, then automatically lower things will go away. So we say there is conviction. What is that? Conviction, openness to
Openness.
discuss.
Yes. Yeah.
Discuss.
Remaining safe, applying safety. If some things tempt you, there are temptations, you maintain a safe distance from them. And tea, you develop a higher taste by associating with devotees, chanting Hare Krishna, eating prasadam. Then you will not hanker for those lower tastes of meat eating and intoxications.
Yeah. So conviction comes from reading Shastra, and you have to have openness means, like we say, we have to discuss our anarthas and try to find. We seek help. Openness means to seek help for dealing with our issues. Then we have to also be safe. If I'm alcoholic, I don't want to be around other friends who are alcoholic, because that will make me weak, and I will, if I want to give up alcohol, I don't want to be in the company of others who are, because that will tempt me to drink alcohol. And then tea taste means, yeah, as you said, we have to chant when we do spiritual practices on a regular basis, then that will give us some higher taste, and like that. So all these things will help us. Uh, Discrimination between right and wrong. So tolerance. Tolerance means, like, okay, what is tolerance?
Tolerance means understanding that everything is temporary. Krishna says, like after winter, summer season comes, after day and night comes, and after night, day comes. Same thing, after distress, good times will come, but those good times also are temporary. They will go away. Then suffering comes, and suffering is also temporary. So, understanding the temporary nature of this world, you should tolerate the ups and downs of life, but focus on the ultimate goal of life, which is using our human body in advancing in spiritual realization to connect with Krishna, develop our love for Krishna, and go back home, back to Godhead to be with Krishna. So that is tolerance.
Yeah, Prabhupada writes a nice statement. Greatness of a person is estimated by one's ability to tolerate the most provoking situations. He writes like that in Krishna book. So we are being provoked by our mind, by other people, and provoked in the way that will deviate us from Krishna consciousness. So we don't succumb to those provocations. Yeah, the provocation is there, but I don't succumb to it. I just resist. Tolerance means I don't give in to it. So in the discharge of one's duty, one has to tolerate, like your family members may not agree, so many things, so many inconveniences we'll face in on the path of bhakti. So we tolerate. Like I give this example that if I have to go from Baroda, I'm from Baroda, now called Vadodara. If I have to go from Baroda to Ahmedabad in a train, it's 2 hour journey. And I am in a train and the train is crowded, I don't get a seat. So I stand, yeah. Because my goal is to reach Ahmedabad. My goal is to, but I can, if I don't get a seat, okay, it's little inconvenient. That's okay. But my goal is to, instead of not going on the train, and say, oh, I don't have a seat, I will not go on that. But goal is to reach Ahmedabad, so there may be some inconveniences in the journey. Some passengers may be not very, there may be so much noise in the train, so many things. But if you are fixed on the goal, then yeah, it's okay. I'll tolerate that.
The other example is given that if you are going to your office, you have a very important meeting, and your promotion and your future depends on that meeting. You're going and somebody cuts into your lane and start to speak bad words. Would you stop your car and have like a fight with him on the road while you know that your meeting will be missed? Or you would tolerate that, yeah, this person, whatever it's saying, I have to focus on the most important thing, which is I have to be on time, I have to give this presentation, my future depends on that. Right. So many people will come in our lives, speak things, and want to get into a fight. We tolerate all of that for Krishna.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to get into a situation which will disturb your mental peace. And so you say, yeah, I just don't. They say no response is also a response. Sometimes they say you don't have to respond to every provoking situation, everything that is happening, because you want to be peaceful. Because the more you, I think he was saying also that the more the quarrel starts when you get into it, and then you start quarreling, and argument and debates and all that, and then at the end of it all, you are very disturbed, and that will disturb your japa, your chanting Hare Krishna. So if you could just tolerate somebody's insulting us, if you don't speak anything back, then maybe they'll stop speaking after some time because they think, yeah. But if I also speak, like in husband-wife quarrel also, right? If I say something, then wife says something, then you say something, and then wife says something. So it becomes like a big, and at the end of it, your mind is very agitated, and that affects your, other things. But somebody's saying, okay, somebody's insulting, okay, I don't, it's okay. I have to, my goal is not to prove myself right or something like that. My goal is to become Krishna conscious. So you just tolerate. So that is tolerance, right? What do you think? What do you all
Yeah,
think?
I agree. I mean, it's like you have to be able to assess the situation before you act upon the situation.
Yeah. What will be the consequences of that? If I, what can it lead to? So if something is very important, as you were saying, going to the meeting is very important, I may have to tolerate some red lights. I may have to tolerate somebody cutting into my lane. Because if I get all disturbed about it, then I'll miss the goal of going to my meeting. And my human life is meant to reach the goal of.
I did this to myself yesterday. I actually created my own problems in my own head by overwhelming myself with a million thoughts unnecessarily, which
Yeah.
confused me to a point that I suffer from anxiety and depression, and I caused it by myself, not by any external forces. It was a very similar example, just in a way that it was no meeting, there was nothing else. It was just me with the choices, and I had not put them in the correct order and timing of laying it out so that I could progress through it smoothly without creating consequences prior to the next step and the next step. I created consequences at the very first step, so I couldn't even move to the second.
You want to tell the story? You put the verse, so maybe you can tell.
Yeah,
No, I
sure.
was no,
Oh
I
yeah,
was
okay.
telling Kimesh about this verse, right? We can read this verse. So there is this person called Avanti Brahman. His story comes in Canto 11. He was a very rich person, but a very miserly person. He did not maintain good relationships with his family, and nobody liked him. But then there was a sudden turn of events in his life. His go down got into fire, and he lost everything. He was a very rich man, and he lost everything, became very poor. Then nobody was helping him in that situation because everybody hated him anyways.
Mhm.
So they started making fun of him, and they started abusing him and whatnot. He was going through a lot of suffering in his life, but in his suffering situation, which was a sudden turn of events, he had a realization. He's speaking this verse. नायं जनो मे सुख दुःख हेतुर ना देवतात्मा ग्रह कर्म काला मनः परम कारणमा आमनन्ति samsara chakram parivartayet yat. He got some mercy by Krishna and he reached to this conclusion that this person is saying, these people are not the cause of my happiness and distress, neither are the demigods, my own body, the planets, my past work or time. Rather, it is the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life. Now,
That's
generally, we
exactly
say
what you
that.
told me this morning. Yeah, okay, now I see it better. Yeah,
And now we generally think that it is my own karma, right? Somebody who knows Bhagavad Gita just say that, okay, people are behaving this with me because I may have done something wrong to them in my previous life. My karma is coming back to me. That's what, we usually think. But there is something higher knowledge than that.
yeah,
That
you can
what
interpret it differently. Exactly.
if our mind is controlled, if our mind is fixed on Krishna, then we may be in a difficult situation and people may be doing wrong things to us, but suffering is my choice.
This
Misery
is
is mandatory in this world, but suffering is optional. Suffering
this
is
is
if you
one.
want to take it up on yourself and suffer.
Yeah.
Or you
Um.
can be, on the other hand, gratitude, as we were talking about, grateful to Krishna for so many things that he has given you, starting from this human body. There's so
Yeah.
much to be grateful for, and so much service that you can do with your body to others that will give you peace and bliss and happiness. Then, suffering means, oh, I'm a victim. This thing happened to me, right? So you have a choice whether you want to have a victim mentality or you want to have a grateful heart. It's up to you, right? It does not matter your external situation or what happened in our life. People are not the cause of our happiness and distress. It's our
Right.
own
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. And I mean, this is. Thank you so much for telling me that this morning and reiterating on it now, because that's truly what happened to me yesterday and part of it today. And this morning, I woke up with a realization which you put into words better like this. Through the scriptures, it was written, and it was something in a realization I had somewhat found when I woke up this morning and thought to myself, what did I do yesterday to myself, rather more than blame everything else around me?
Yeah, correct.
So,
Which
yeah.
is why I didn't attend the classes yesterday, because I was parked outside of the house and I had a whole bunch of racing thoughts, and I drove off and I went back home because I went to the house too early, and I started getting strange thoughts in my head, and I was almost breaking out into a panic attack in the car by myself because I had been stretching thoughts from the past that had reminded me of certain things while sitting there by myself. And I couldn't sit there any longer because I started feeling the shakes, and I have panic attacks. So I texted the Sri Radhika and I said I cannot stay here anymore. She said, "Go inside, go knock. They let you in." I don't know why I did. I just couldn't get out of the car. I couldn't do anything. Not that I couldn't get out of the car. I just felt like I needed to go and avoid. If I had gone in the house, that I would have reacted any different or worse because of my condition. But when I woke up this morning, I thought to myself that if I had the same composure I had in the morning when I woke up, then if I had been at the house, I would have probably just walked up to the front door and knocked on it and introduced myself and waited until everybody else came too. Because I was early, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Mm.
But who made it a problem? I did, because I started thinking about old experiences and associating it with something present.
Yeah. So the problem comes with the mind when we let the mind speak to us. Instead of letting the mind speak to us, we should turn on a lecture, and we can have all these saintly people, advanced people who are, have well read in scriptures, always constantly speak to us. So for me, I always turn on a lecture whenever I am free, when I'm not working. Then I have constantly positive thoughts coming to me. So free time is when we give time for the mind to, speak bad things to us, right? So we should never have free time. Free time
Mhm.
is danger. Always be occupied with your ears, always hearing about Krishna. And we can give you so many lectures that so many devotees, as you know, Shubh Vilas Prabhu was here. So many devotees are there in ISKCON speaking nice lectures. Always keep hearing them. Always keep hearing chant and chanting with your tongue. Always keep chanting Hare Krishna. So these positive vibrations will always go within you, and you can overpower the voices of the mind that keeps telling you nasty things.
Thank you, because that's what I completely need. It's a work in progress that I think I'm put my first foot in, and I want to continue walking forward in this direction.
Also, I'd like to add something. Maybe it might help Prabhuji. I've heard from this from the class and try to practice it. So it's an example of an war. When you're going to a war, you got to make sure you're properly armed. You don't go empty-handed or with empty bullets in the gun. So our life is similar. Every day it's more of like a war with ourselves, with others. With our emotions, ego. So, the morning time, as Mataji was saying, is the best time, to make sure we pack everything that we need to go through the day, and we're in the same consciousness as much as possible throughout the day. And that begins with chanting, listening and reading. That's what we are doing right now. And if possible, we should continue that throughout the day as well, because, the enemy can come from any direction. And if we are not prepared, and if we slack somewhere, then it's going to attack us, and we might fall prey to it. So just wanted to add that thought. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
thank you very much. I also certainly didn't think that I would make it, and today I am. So I find I'm making the best I can, and I'm going to do even better. Joining this and making sure that you all speak so confidently, and I want to get to that point of myself, like the same way of being prepared, mm, using idle time like that when I was waiting in the car differently, and then practicing all those things of like mercy, austerity, truthfulness a whole lot better.
Yeah, next time you can call more persons, just not Mataji. So, hopefully someone can provide you the motivation that you need.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anything else on this? Let's see. So tolerance, discrimination between right and wrong. We already talked about that from the devotees, from the Shastra, like that. Control of the mind. Yes, that's you have to control the mind. If we don't control the mind will control us. They say like that. So either we control the mind or we. So to control the mind, you have to engage it in Krishna's service, Krishna thought, like something related to Krishna. Then the mind will become controlled. And Prabhupada says the easiest way to control, what is it? The easiest way to control the
Mind is to chant Hare Krishna mantra in all humility.
knowledge.
Humility means I am helpless. I'm in a very dangerous situation. In this world, in material world, there is danger at every step. So I need protection. I need help. So when we chant Hare Krishna, that's what we are telling Krishna. I need help. Please accept me. I want to have a relationship with you. We are looking for relationships in this world. We are looking for love. The actual love will come from Radha and Krishna. Right? That is they are our eternal companion. Lifetime after lifetime, they are there with us. People change in our life. They come and go. But who loves us really? Who's providing you everything? you know Giving you 3 times to eat, giving you a healthy body so you can digest food, and your heart is working, your lungs, your liver, everything. So many gifts Krishna has given us. So we need to recognize his love towards us.
Mm.
So yeah, this devotee, this Ambarish Maharaj pastime comes in Canto 9, Srimad Bhagavatam. We scroll down, we can see how he is utilizing every part of his body in service to Krishna, starting from his mind. The mind is our best friend if we use our mind in thinking of Krishna, and it will become our worst enemy if we don't use our mind properly. Right? So we want to make mind our best friend by meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, by thinking about Krishna, by hearing his pastimes, his beautiful form, his spiritual world. Right? So that is a good use of the mind. And we should use our words in glorifying the Lord. how nice Krishna is, how much he has done for me, being grateful to Krishna, always glorifying Krishna. And use your hands in cleansing the Lord's temple. So when you come on the Thursday program, we have so many services for you. You can, serve the devotees prasad, and then the cooking utensils. You can help us clean. We also clean the temple after everybody's gone. The clean the floor and sweep it. So we have services there. So like that, use your hands in serving, in cleansing the Lord's temple, and use your ears always in hearing about Krishna, words spoken by Krishna, hearing Bhagavad Gita, and use your eyes. Use your eyes in seeing the beautiful deities of Krishna. You came to the Radhanatpur temple, our temple, right? So beautiful deities. So if you see the beautiful form of Krishna, your eyes get purified. And that's the reason Krishna has given us eyes, so that we can see him and see the devotees. And then, so engage your sense of touch in and serving others, serving the devotees, and engage your sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of flowers and tulsi which is offered to Krishna, and engage your tongue in eating Krishna prasad and always speaking about Krishna. Use your legs in coming to the temple and coming to the holy places. As you said, you went to Vrindavan. That is the best use of your legs. You went to the holy dham and you visited temples there. And use your head in bowing down to the Lord, and all your desires in serving Lord 24 hours a day. That is absorption. That's what we need to do. And then, you never desire anything for my own sense gratification, which means this is called selfishness. For me, no, everything should be for Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure, and in turn Krishna will give us so much pleasure. So in this way, we should engage all our senses in service to the Lord 24 hours. And this is the way to increase attachment for the Lord and completely free us from all material desires. So we should follow in the footsteps of Ambarish Maharaj and become a pure devotee like him. Then we'll be so blissful. And we can help others who are going through so much suffering in life. They're looking for direction. Then you will be capable, once you know Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures, you have understood, and you start speaking to them, and you relieve their suffering. And we remember how somebody relieved our suffering by speaking Bhagavad Gita to us. Then you can do the same, and that is the best service. Krishna says that's the best service you can do. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So we'll look at some other qualities. Let's see. Control of the senses. So mind is the king of the senses. So if mind is controlled, then the senses are controlled. Or sometimes the mind is saying something, but we don't allow our senses to engage, right, in things. So if mind is saying now you should eat more, okay, mind is, some desire is coming, but the tongue says no, you don't use your legs and go to take the second serving. Yeah, so like that, mind can say so many things. So we have to evaluate, but it's not so easy. It will fail many times in the beginning, but we keep trying also, and we take shelter of Krishna, then it will become easy. So it's practice, like we are every day practicing 2 hours. Whenever mind goes somewhere, we say, no, back to Krishna's name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Everything else, all thoughts, other thoughts can wait. Yeah. So I'm, to the exclusion of all other thoughts, I'm trying to focus my mind on Krishna, at least for 2 hours. And then it goes away. The mind goes away. Then we try to bring it back. So we are doing a conscious practice, right? We are doing a conscious practice of controlling our mind and bringing it to Krishna. So like that, when after doing sustained practice, conscious sustained practice, then we'll become good at it. Anything you practice nicely, then after some time you'll become good at it. And then your mind will stay on Krishna. Like Prabhupada says, the mind can rest in the sound vibration of Krishna's holy name. So then we will feel connected and we'll get a higher taste. When we chant attentively, we get higher taste. Okay, so that's how control of the senses, non-violence. Yeah, we should not physically harm anybody, and non-violence means we should not allow others to suffer also. Somebody suffering because they don't have Krishna consciousness, we should be giving them. Otherwise, we are causing violence. So we should share this knowledge with others regularly, with our family members and our friends. And charity begins at home. Celibacy. Yeah, celibacy means controlling our urges, sex urge, right? So, as Prabhupada said in the purport, if we can retain the semen, then it will result in strong memory. If he says everyone should be taught very careful not to discharge semen unnecessarily. So, yeah, that causes loss of the vitality. So only in the married life, it is discharged for the purpose of procreation. Otherwise, one should not use contraceptives and things like that, unnecessarily discharge semen. So that's celibacy, and it will bring us out of the bodily conception of life if we observe celibacy. Our thoughts will become pure. Otherwise, our thoughts will always be about lusty desires, how to fulfill the lusty desires with this body, and we'll be in the bodily conception of life. Spiritual life means getting out of the bodily conception of life and considering that Krishna's pleasure, yeah, working for Krishna's pleasure. But when we are in bodily conception of life, we are actually simply down to work for the sense pleasure, for our own sense pleasure. So it will not give satisfaction in the long run. But because we have those desires, so there is a way in which you can fulfill the desires in Grihastha ashram for the purpose of procreation. So they are also considered celibate, Grihastha brahmacharis, those who are in married life, but those who are only engaging in sex life for the purpose of having a child, not otherwise, then they are considered celibate. So Krishna says such lust is not which is not contrary to religious principles. I am that. That's celibacy. And that's why, when Bhishma took the vow of celibacy, Devavrat took the vow of celibacy, yesterday we were hearing, all the demigods, they showered flowers on him. Because this is the binding force in the material existence, the attraction between male and female. That's why we have 75% of the time in the Varnashram, there is no bodily relationship, 75%, and 25% in a very regulated way for the purpose of procreation. It's difficult, but again it goes back to higher taste. When you get higher taste, then only you can refrain from this. And if you have strong determination, strong determination and higher taste. So, Bhishma took that vow. Devavrat took that vow. So everybody said, Bhishma means, what does Bhishma mean? Very
Horrible.
Very horrible, terrible, like that. Because he was in the royal assembly. And how can he be celibate? Because he was in the royal assembly where there is a lot of beautiful people around and like that. So he says, so we call it Bhishma Pratigya, means very terrible. Wow, right? So that is not so easy. Charity should be only given to the worthy person who will use it in a proper way. Otherwise, if you give charity to a druggist, like sometimes we go to the gas station, people are asking for charity. Can you give me some? But we don't know really what they want the money for. Is it for something they are hungry, or they want to get some drugs? Some people become desperate when they don't get drugs and they need money for the drugs. They also do so many things. So charity should be given for the right purpose, with the right intention, not for name and fame, but to the right person at the right time, at the right place. And best charity is given to propagate the glories of the Lord, and in this way help people. So reading of scripture, of course, that we discussed, every simplicity, simple, not duplicity. Satisfaction, that we discussed, rendering service to saintly persons. is very important, rendering service to saintly persons. Serving the saintly persons will invoke their blessings, and by their blessings, our path becomes easier, or obstacles becomes cleared. Gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagements. As death comes closer, we want to wind down all our other activities, which are not really necessary. In Grihastha ashram, it is like little bit pravritti is there, but then nivritti, then you become retired from this so that you can concentrate. Observing the futility of unnecessary activities of human society. Actually, everything other than moving towards our goal of becoming Krishna consciousness is futile, it is useless. I want to build a nice career, and if it is connected to Krishna, then it's okay. Otherwise, all these ambitions and all these desires are futile in the long run, because everything will end at the time of death and everything will stay behind, and then you have to go to another life. So observing the futility of unnecessary activities, talking unnecessarily like that, remaining silent, means not talking, and grave and avoiding the unnecessary talk. Considering whether one is body or the soul. So we should always remind us that we are the soul, we are not this body. Because all around us, people are in the bodily conception of life. So we tend to come into that conception. So we have to always consider who we are. Really. Distributing food equally to all living entities, both men and animals. So we should give prasad even to animals, because they're also spirit souls, and others also. Seeing every soul, especially in the human form, as part of the Supreme Lord. Everybody is part and parcel of Supreme Lord, and Krishna loves them. So I cannot love Krishna without loving his children also. Like Duryodhana wanted to get favor of Krishna, but he hated the Pandavas. So that doesn't work with Krishna. So if I say me and Krishna only and no other devotees, then that's a neophyte stage of life. I don't show compassion, I don't consider other devotees, but only me and Krishna. That is considered neophyte stage of devotional service. Hearing about the activities and instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of saintly persons. So hearing about Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and his activities, pastimes, chanting about these activities and instructions. So after hearing, we want to speak about it to others who have not heard it. Always remembering these activities. So if you chant and hear, then you remember. Whatever you speak about and whatever you hear about, you remember. Trying to render service. So 9 processes of devotional service, rendering some service. Performing worship, archan, offering obeisances, bowing down, becoming a servant, becoming a friend, and surrendering one's whole self. So at the end of the day, we say, this life is for Krishna. It's easy to say, but this life, everything is for Krishna. I have gone through many lives and I am not satisfied. I have suffered very much, and I'm suffering in this life also. So I will give this life to Krishna. I will use my life to serve Krishna. Then how will I be maintained? Krishna says, no, don't worry. If you serve me, I will maintain you. So that is there. And Prabhupada created a house in which the whole world can live. So he created all these temples. There are so many devotees living in the temples and are supported by the temple and doing their devotional service. So ultimately giving everything, whatever we have, because anyway, everything is going to go at some point. So while we have it, if we give it to Krishna or use it for Krishna, then it is much, Krishna much appreciates. Otherwise, Krishna says, I'll come as death and take everything away. Mrityu sarva harasyaham. But at that point, if we have not given it, then we don't get the credit. So our life is going to go at certain point. We'll not be in this body. But if before dying, if we give our life to Krishna, then that's very glorious. O King Yudhishthir, these 30 qualifications must be acquired in the human form of life. Simply by acquiring these qualifications, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many years we have not given, but at least remaining years of our life, we can think like that. I have some decades remaining. So many years I have been doing so much nonsense, but I have some few years remaining. Let me use my time in serving Krishna. And that doesn't mean you have to stay in the temple, which can mean also that also, but somehow or other, wherever you are, you have to serve Krishna. That's it. Whether you are sthane sthita shruti katam tanuvan manobhi, it is described that wherever you are, stay in your position and serve Krishna. Hear about Krishna. And then do everything. So, like that. So, that is this verse. It's already 8:50. You want to read anything else? Anybody? Is it okay, Kimesh?
Oh, you are mute, Kimesh.
No, I understood that very well. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So slowly and gradually, it's not like so we start with chanting the holy name. So if we say, okay, we have to give 24 hours to Krishna, but 24 hours is a big tall order. So at least give 1 hour, 2 hours every day. Then if you get taste, then you will like to do more like that. So it is how it all starts with little. We don't have to drastically like, okay, this is not possible. I am at this, and somebody says, no, now you have to now do this, completely change. Drastic change may not be. So baby steps we have to take. Baby. Of course, some people do drastic changes also. But
Yeah, this is like the first time I've spent so much of time dedicating time towards this. And, when I was young, it was only Sundays at the mandir.
So at least, yeah, once a week we can come to the temple or chant Hare Krishna with the devotees, Sankirtan or.
I will come as much as I can whenever I'm free. It's just like I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm telling generally, not
miss it
just
for
for me.
anything. Yeah.
I'm telling to myself also. Yeah, we
All
start.
right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just we start like and then make it sustained because otherwise it is like you just get a spike and then it dies down. It's better to do like a sustained practice consistently.
Consistency, yeah.
Yeah, consistently do every day. Like every day we take bath. So every day we have to chant Hare Krishna. So we fix our rounds. We say, okay, I'll chant 2 rounds or 3 rounds or 4 rounds. Prabhupada wanted us to chant 16 rounds. If we can chant 16 rounds, that's good. At least we should fix a minimum number every day and consistently do that number. So in this way, it will grow organically. It will grow. And it also depends on our desire, how much we want to grow it, right? That's also, everything is based on desire. When you have burning desire, means very intense desire, then you want to, when your desire is lukewarm, then when desire is lukewarm, then intensity is not so great. Then it will be like, okay, whenever it's like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't do like that. But if you have burning desire, means, so it's all about increasing our intensity of our desire. You really, really want it, right? It comes to that point when you really, really want to, connect with Krishna. As George Harrison in his song, there is a song, I really want to know you, he says. I really want to be with you, but it takes so long, he says. So you're hankering, right? You really, but that hankering doesn't come so fast. It comes like after you get taste and you really feel the importance of it. And yeah.
Okay. So I think Kimesh has a meeting at 9 o'clock. So Kimesh, you can drop. Yeah, and you can join us daily.
Oh, is it? Did you do it again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody. I'll
Hare
speak to you
Krishna,
tomorrow.
then we will stop also. It's already 9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stop here. Or you want to sing some bhajan?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Is there any bhajan going on?
I don't know if so.
That's okay, Prabhu. I'll sing tomorrow.
All right, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.